Greetings everyone, this is First Centurion 753 and I am doing another episode of Democracy 3. I decided to title this POTUS. For those of you who don't know, POTUS stands for President of the United States. If you didn't know that, well, surprised you're watching. No offense. So, quarterly report from last game where we left off. Education's really high. GDP, health are not. Crime is on the way down. We had a superhero, Batman. Budget, our credit rating is still level B. Again, AAA is the best. Only 32% of the people will vote for me in the next election. But there's good news because the global economy is doing well. Also, I pulled off sort of a little tax coup over here, and we now have a surplus. I have solved the deficit problem in the United States, and we can start cutting down this debt. I know the actual U.S. debt is much larger than this, and the deficit, I don't know what the deficit is, but for this game, I solved the problem. So, with that, I have to decide where I'm going to spend this new money. Should I send it all to cut the debt, or could I solve some of these problems that our society is facing? If you notice, alcohol. I already worked to start reducing alcohol abuse right here. If I can get this dot down to that green line, it is the stop trigger, which means it will end this problem. If it ends up going back up to that red line, it is the start trigger, and the problem will come back. But you have a little bit of a cushion in between those. The other thing about alcohol abuse, it costs me $46 billion to deal with. In addition, state health services go up 18%. So with some of these, not all, with some of them, like pollution, if you are able to get rid of them, you actually save yourself a lot of money, which will help to increase the surplus even further if I don't spend it all. So I think this episode I'm going to take some steps to try to solve all these problems. Before we do that, I just want to go through a quick overview of where we stand. You can see on this screen who likes us and who doesn't. Liberals hate us. They hate us. And it's basically based on all that law enforcement over there, and some of that foreign policy. That's some of the reasons why the liberals hate us. Parents hate us. Hate me. Asthma, drug addiction, handgun laws, narcotics. These are all bad things. They like the school buses. That's good. Trade unionists hate me for those reasons. They like the working week, but they don't like those other things. Privatization over there on the left. So those groups do not like me. But people do like me. The patriots love me. Retired people love me. So do state employees. So that's all good. So those people like me. Conservatives are starting to like me more. And I think that's because of the police force. If you notice over there on the left. Since I increased the police force, the conservatives are happy. Police force is really a win-win over here. Crime goes down, violent crimes goes down. Really it doesn't. The only negative impact is the income for state employees. But state employees, their opinion goes up, and state employees, they really like me. So the police are like a win-win scenario. Let's just I want to check out some of these changes real quick, just to show you. Again, we are in, there's 16 turns in a 4-year term, because there's 4 quarters per year. 4 times 4, 16. We have 13 turns left, So that must mean we are in the fourth quarter of the first year, because this was the first quarter. That's the second quarter, and that's the third quarter right there. We're at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter. That's where we are. Check out what we've done so far, what we've accomplished. Crime has been dropped almost 25%. That's huge. That's about a quarter. Violent crime's down a little bit. Technology and education are up. CO2 emissions slightly down. Racial tension slightly down. Alcohol consumption went down a lot, which is good, because we're trying to get rid of that alcohol. Almost 20% on the alcohol consumption. And those are all things that people like. These things people are kind of indifferent about. Oil, price of oil is going down because the demand of oil is going down. Air travel is going down, and that's probably causing the demand of oil to go down, now that I think about it. All those three right there might be linked. And then there's private pensions that are going down a little bit. The compass is another cool thing. This tells you where you stand as far as your policies are concerned, and I appear to be a capitalist conservative. Okay. So, the surplus is due to the boost from the carbon tax right there. It took on almost 25% of our income. Income tax is still the highest at 41%. You have sales tax, corporate tax, other taxes. So that surplus was huge, and that drove our income way up over our expenditures right there. That's the surplus. Okay? According to this chart, the GDP was going down, but that news report said it's going to start going back up, so that would also help drive income up as well. This surplus has led to a drop in the debt, which hopefully will affect the interest rates probably next turn. Relative GDP should go with the global GDP. So we'll have to see about that. Okay, so I'm going to address these problems. First, we're going to start with alcohol. This is the biggest problem. The reason why alcohol is the biggest problem is because it's costing us $46.8 billion, and it's costing us state health services. It's costing them to go up. So if we can get rid of this alcohol problem, then we're going to actually save ourselves. We're going to actually increase our income. So I'm willing to spend some money. It's also got a big impact on crime. 16%. Wow. Now, I have played this game with several other nations, and what I've noticed, something that is very helpful in the law and order department, that is actually really cheap usually, is the policy idea of community police. Doesn't look too popular here, and it's usually a lot cheaper in other countries, but with the United States it's much bigger, and you know, it's going to cost more here, but not a lot more. It's only 15 billion, and we've got like 182 billion to spend. So we're going to go ahead and bring these community police in. It's going to take some time to implement. It's going to take 5 quarters, but it's only going to cost us 1 political capital, so that's huge. Only 22% of people like it, but this does help to improve crime. Encourages the police to better understand the needs of the local community, especially areas with ethnic minorities. So that might help the ethnic group out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get this community police going. And I am going to max it out. Now look what this does. Maxing it out drives down alcohol abuse 32.06%. It's also going to drive down antisocial behavior, which is another one of the big problems that we have. Racial tension is going to improve. It's going to drop violent crime and crime is going to go down. The liberals are going to love it, and it's going to improve the liberal membership. Now, that might not be a good thing, actually, improving liberal membership, because the liberals do not like me. But boosting their opinion will help. Okay? And it doesn't cost anything to raise this budget. So we're going to go ahead and spend $15 billion on community police. And that should help a lot. Community policing. Okay. The next biggest issue for us to deal with is pollution. Pollution is also costing us a lot of money, $11 billion. If we can get rid of pollution, that's actually closer to the stop trigger than alcohol. If we can get rid of this pollution, then it's going to save us money. It will improve the opinion of the environmentalists. It will improve our health. And boost up... Oh no. It will actually hurt environmentalist membership, because this pollution is causing environmentalist membership to go up 15%. That's okay. Now, in order to get this pollution, we're going to have to go back to the policy idea tab, and there's another idea that I've used that helps with pollution that doesn't seem to upset too many people. And where is that? Oh, you know what? I think we might actually... No, we don't. Oh, wait a minute. No. Okay. It's gotta be... I think it's in transport. Okay. I don't know where this thing is. I'm looking for... Hybrid Car Initiative, which I thought was under transportation, and I don't know where it is. It's not there. It's not there. It's not, definitely not going to be there. Taxes. Nope. Nope. Wow, where did that go? Hybrid Car Initiative, that would be... That's car tax. There it is. Okay. What I plan on doing with this is raising it all the way. Because it's not, doesn't really cost a lot. It only costs, that's like a $2 billion increase. And environmentalists are also a fan of that. Their membership's going to go up. The environment's going to improve. Motorists actually like this as well. A lot of times when you do something to improve the environment that deals with cars, motorists are upset, but this is one situation where they're actually happy. So this is huge. It's popular with the voters, 71%, and it reduces the oil demand even further without cutting back on anything that could help our economy. Just shuts down the demand for oil, so we're less dependent on oil. And there are events that come up in the game that, you know, can cause the price of oil to go up, and if you're very dependent on oil, then that can affect your economy. So this reduces our dependency on oil, which is great. Great thing. Okay, political capital, it's going to cost us 4, no problem. Alright, so that's 2 problems that we're going to try to solve here. I still have more political capital, so I can still do some more things. Oh, this one I want to point out, because this is actually uncompetitive economy if you're playing in the United States. This is really close to the stop trigger. So, you know what? It won't take a lot of effort to get rid of this problem. So you can kind of just do an extreme... What you could do is an extreme corporate tax cut. Early in the game. You could probably actually do this on the first turn if you want. There's corporate taxes bring in a lot of money, so you can't cut it all. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut it down to 100 billion. So effectively cutting $37 billion from our budget. And as of right now, we've only really spent about $17 billion. So $30 billion will put us at like, what's that, 54 billion in expenditures. Socialists like this idea. Wait a minute. Socialists do not like this idea, but the capitalists like it. The wealthy people like, because this is their negative opinion. But if you see, it's starting its current negative opinion. Capitalist current negative opinion is 8.57. After this tax is implemented, it will be 6.89. Okay, so the capitalists like it, the wealthy people like it, self-employed like it, and those are all sort of people in our camp. So it will cost only 10 to lower, and I guarantee you it's going to solve this productivity issue within like 1 or 2 turns. Alright, so that should be the uncompetitive economy. And if you eliminate this uncompetitive economy, productivity, or GDP will go up. GDP will go up. Yeah. It'll be a good thing. GDP will go up 10%. And capitalist opinion, which is down 6% from this, will be that will be eliminated as well. So we're gonna look good with that. What else did I want to do this turn? Let's see, we're down at 20 political capital here. Antisocial behavior is another issue that is starting to go down. What I could do is up the police force a little bit, because that's never really a problem. We max it out, it's only going to cost us $10 billion, and that's only for political capital. And this really doesn't upset anybody. The conservatives love us. Conservatives are going to love me. State employees, they love me already. Their membership's going up. And look at what that does. That really drives down antisocial behavior. Go ahead. Use the political capital to go for that issue. What other issues do we have to deal with here? Antisocial behavior. Vigilante mob, I guarantee you, is next turn, since we're below the stop trigger, next turn that's going to be gone. Alright, tourism will go back up. Negative opinion from conservatives. Conservatives, again, they're going to love me. Their membership's going to go down a little bit, which is not good. But their membership's pretty high, I think. So conservatives, if you look over here, where are the conservatives? They're 63%. Alright. And so vigilante mobs, we don't have to worry about that. Internet crime is an issue, and it's going down a little bit. It's going to go down as crime goes down from the police force and the community policing. Internet crime will also go down. One thing we'd have to do is we'd have to raise intelligence services. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that just yet, because if you raise the intelligence services, well, that helps a lot. The liberals, that hurts the liberals a good amount. I'm not ready to do that just yet. I'm going to see where the elimination of this crime, because when we get rid of alcohol abuse and we get rid of antisocial behavior, then that's going to improve the crime situation, and that might just, indirectly impact the internet crime. Or after that gets solved, the internet crime may also get solved. Skills shortages, which is right there. This is one thing we could also do. We can also deal with this. It's not too far from the stop trigger, and if we solve this problem, That'll be 22% on the GDP. That's pretty good. There is an idea. I have an idea for this. And the idea is right here. Adult education subsidies. Another pretty cheap policy idea. It will encourage adult education subsidies are a way to encourage people to retrain and continue their education after they have joined the workforce. This includes evening classes and distant learning resources, like the internet, I assume. These schemes help to raise the overall education level of the workforce. Pretty cheap, only takes 2 quarters to implement, and I think this will have a big effect on reducing the skills shortages, because it will create more skills, more skilled people. Good idea. We're going with it. Do I want to max it out? Yeah, why not? Look at that. Huge impact on skills shortages. Productivity goes up. Education goes up. Game. Ball game. That's a win-win-win scenario over there. Okay. Drug addiction. This will actually go down with the increase of the police force, and hopefully that will help the other areas. Yeah, police force, that'll help it a little bit. We're going to have to figure something else for the drug addiction. And then the asthma should improve as our environment improves from the hybrid car initiative. And I also think that the CO2 tax, where is that CO2 tax? Right there. You would think that would have an effect on the environment. Well, I guess it does, because it will reduce CO2 emissions, which I would think that would have an effect on the environment. That's odd. Okay, I don't know why that doesn't have an effect on improving the environment. It's weird. Okay. Well, I think we're good for now. We're down to 4 political capital. We really can't do much else. So I think we've done a pretty good job at developing some initiatives to solve these problems. I am just going to go ahead and go to the next turn and see what happens. Okay, here we go. Vigilante mob situation is now at an end. Software patents. This is going to be an issue we have to deal with. The global economy is doing well. It's having a positive effect on our GDP. Our popularity is up to 46%. That's pretty good. Our debt rating is still pretty low. And this security briefing, this is actually not bad because membership is going down. These memberships are okay. Once you get down to these memberships, the ones with the guns, that's when you have to worry. That's when those people are going to try to assassinate you. And what I think is that each one of these is kind of linked to one of these larger groups. So we got to kind of calm things down. Human Rights Society is really upset, and they're getting pretty big, and there's a high threat assessment here. Inequality now. Everyone else is pretty happy. That's interesting. Human rights. Human rights are upset. Alright, surplus is still there. The vigilante mobs are gone. And I think that actually, even though we spent money, I think we kind of, well, income obviously isn't as high, but I think it's higher than it would have been if you just had the expenditures. I think things improved a little bit. Relative GDP's gone up. Debt has gone down. It's continuing to go down. That's good. As that goes down, this will improve. The global economy is supposed to be coming back, according to the news articles, but it's not. Expenditures are up a little bit, which cause income to go down. But I think we're doing well. Community policing, hybrid car initiative, corporate tax cut, increase in the police force, adult education subsidies, and vigilante mobs are now disbanded. So things are going well. And now we have new issues. Software patents. Software patents are a form of intellectual property that allows companies to protect algorithms, pieces of computer code, that implement a new technology, such as a new type of translation software or a system for purchasing online. They are generally popular with big business, but unpopular with those who fight for a free internet. Ooh, that's probably Human Rights Society. Yeek. And those who think that patents are far too general and stifle innovation. This kind of makes me think that I should reject the software because of that group, the Human Rights Society, right here. They got me worried. Remember, last time I played this, I was shot and killed. Assassinated in my second term. So I don't want to get assassinated again. I'm going to ponder this a little bit. And I think I've rambled on for long enough. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to my channel. And have a good night.